Hello and good morning, friends. Welcome back. We have another new day and an exciting new portal because the Moths have returned. That's right, the Alliance event, Night of the Moth, has come back, and we will take a look at the brand new character that they gave us. She's looking very regal and maybe piratey. I don't know if that's like a pirate or like a dancer. I don't know. It's a swashbuckler. Anyways, long story short, I do enjoy the art. I think it's got a nice pops of red and all that fun stuff. But let's see what the character actually does. We have Gardered. Yes, sure. I apologize. That's kind of a weird way to say that name, but that's fine. Then we also have a fighter class, which we always love. That chance to resurrect is always great. The Moth family bonus. Very sought after. I think most of us know what this is by now, but we'll go back over it just in case. This is a bonus for 1, 2, or 3 heroes. It says at the start of each turn, cast Moth Dust to a random enemy for 2, 3, 4 turns. Okay, Moth Dust has the following effects. Negative 30% mana generation. Mega Minions' current health is reduced by 50% each turn. If Moth Dust is cleared or removed, the target falls asleep and receives plus 80% increased damage while sleeping. So we've seen this all over the meta, and guys are reducing your mana, and if you dare to cleanse it off, you are then falling asleep and take the additional damage and no mana gain from being asleep. It's a very powerful family bonus. These guys are all over the meta right now because of it. And hopefully this will be a new character to add to that to kind of mix things up a little bit. So passive-wise, we still see this character has a 50% chance to dodge special skills. So 15% doesn't sound like a lot, but you'd be surprised how often that dodge can really derail what your opponents are doing because they're probably planning on their hits to actually hit, and it can change the entire outcome of battles at times. We also have attack up Aether Power, so she will be doing that plus 20% attack for the first 6 turns, which is pretty fun as well. So let's see what her attack actually does. Triple Stab, operating at average speed, we have deals 435% damage to the target. The target receives 908 Toxin damage over 4 turns. Damage is increased against targets with boosted health, Mega Minions, or Minions. Deals 435% damage on the edges of the formation. If there's only one enemy, the damage is doubled. The enemies on the edges of the formation fall into deep sleep and receive plus 80% damage while in deep sleep. For those of you who are trying to remember what Deep Sleep does, it says the character in Deep Sleep cannot gain mana or attack. The character in Deep Sleep is awoken once it receives 750 damage. This effect is uncleansable. So Deep Sleep is similar to regular sleep, except instead of waking up as soon as they take any damage, you have a 750 damage sort of barrier before they awake. What I didn't pay attention to in Deep Sleep, and maybe it's not included. Oh, there it is. It's up in the special above. They do take the plus 80% increased damage while in deep sleep. So that's pretty cool. I Sleep is a very hard CC to use on the regular. It's very easy to wake people up from them, so it can be frustrating. If you're very careful with it, it can keep characters controlled for a long time. But likely, I think sleep is better used as the damage booster. So once sleep's on there, you know the next hit that you do to that character is going to be a pretty massive one. So try not to hit him with tiles, but rather hit him with a special who's going to get the most benefit out of that plus 80% increased damage. I think that's pretty obvious, but hey, you never know. So that's a clarification of how we want to be focusing and using Deep Sleep to our advantage. And then let's go back and take a closer peek at what we have here. We do have a sniper hit to a single target of 435%. That's not overly exciting for average speed. However, it does leave the toxin damage. Toxin is an effect that mostly the moths use. I'm not sure if anyone outside the moth family does. But there is some inter-family synergy that's happening. So if you have Kimster, this character is going to have some additional utility with that character as well, or Kimster, I guess. But anyway, regardless, like you do get to see more toxin damage in this family, and that's cool. I think that's important for their family synergies. Then that does a reasonable amount of damage over 4 turns. We're looking at about 225 damage per turn. From the toxin as well. But then he's also going to go ahead and hit 2 more targets on the outer edge of the perimeter, or she, I guess this is obviously she. And, the targets on the outer edge of the perimeter then fall asleep. So depending on how you design your team, you can possibly use this to your advantage. Like if you stack this team with a lot of snipers that hit a single target, you could then try to leave the outer edges asleep and focus down the center characters and use that to your advantage. Unfortunately, tiles don't always agree with you, but there is a 750 damage buffer here. So like if you hit one of them with a stray tile, they won't automatically wake up like regular sleep. So I think you can strategically use her to control the outer edges of the formation and just stay focused on killing the center 3, I think she could be a fun piece to use in that way offensively. Obviously, on defense, you have no control over what the computer's choosing to do, so I don't think that will be as effective defensively, but I do think she is pumping out a lot of damage still. Another thing worth noting is that this character should be pretty fun for Titans. Remember that she is doing a triple stab. It's literally the name of her special. So she will be hitting the Titan 3 times and leaving dot damage behind. So you are getting a very nice Titan hitter out of this character if you get her as well, so kudos to that. Now, let's go ahead and do her rating. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to say that this particular Moth is going to come in at, let's say a solid 8. She's above average for sure. I don't know if she's going to be a game changer, but the amount of damage that she's dishing out is very reasonable for an average speed hit. And she is absolutely going to mess with taunters as well, because it will do a triple stab on taunts. So, like, I definitely give her an 8 for sure. She might even get into 9, but again, this is one of those things where I can't tell if it's enough to be that impactful or if it's just good, right? Like, it's definitely good, and that's why I'm giving her a solid 8. But we'll see how she does. I'll fight her a few times. Maybe I'll come back and revisit this and change my opinion on it. But for right now, a solid 8 if you pull her. Congrats, everyone. All right, looking forward to seeing you next time.